Hello everybody and welcome back to Can We Beat It? This is episode number 5 in our Evil Genius playthrough, and it's time to get back to some wrongdoing. I've done a little bit of off-camera work since the last video, just for entertainment purposes. I don't think anyone really wanted to watch me sitting around waiting for my control room to be finished building, but that's all nice and... and everyone's collapsing again. Yay! I've got useless minions. But yeah, that's nice and built now, so don't have to worry about that. And I built up a little bit of a buffer of funds as well, so hopefully money shouldn't be too much of an issue in the near future. So, with that said, it's time to get on with things. And first things first. I think I can probably leave these investigators alone. It looks like they're trying to go home now anyway, so they haven't seen anything. First things first is I need to train up some technicians. If I go to the domination screen and look at the active infamy here, I need at least 5 technicians to get hold of this crime boss, so I am going to have to train up 5 technicians. Well, 4 more. So I'll just go ahead and say I want 5 of them, and drop the spec down a little bit so that my minion capacity isn't too taxed. There we go, and now my technician and one of my minions are going to go off over here, and he's going to teach one of them how to become a technician. And they'll continue that process until I've got the required number of 5 technicians. In the meantime, I've got some minions out here earning me a bit of money. Not a huge amount coming in, 2,000 every minute, but every little helps, as they say. At Tesco's. Here we go, he's learning how to become a technician now, and the technician's just kind of wandering around. Not really supervising the process, but... hang on. Where's he going? What? What are you doing, man? It's supposed to be learning! Controlling my base. What? You're supposed to be learning how to become a technician. Oh god. You just cannot get the staff these days, can you? Okay, looks like this guy is going to learn now. Okay. Hey, I don't know. I just don't know what's gotten into my minions these days. Oh, hello. Can't leave you alone. Here we go. Stupid, deal with him. There we go. Stupid little investigator. I'll teach him. So yeah, now he's gonna hopefully finish his training and become a technician. Just basic. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be drinking that, mate. Probably not the best idea. Yeah, a little bit of basic chemistry going on here. And yeah, apparently safe laboratory practices are not included in the technician training course. But yeah, he's gonna keep going at that, and eventually he will transform into a technician. Hopefully I can catch that on camera if it's not too long of a wait. Come on, get on with it. Come on. You can do it. No, still at it. Wow. This takes longer than I remember. Oh, here we go. And voila! I have a second technician now. Yeah, things are going well. So yeah, this guy's going to hang around and he's going to start training someone else. Looks like him. He's up next. And yeah, let's leave them to it. tourists. Not too much of a problem at the moment. They're all being good little tourists and staying out of my base. Whilst I'm waiting, I guess I might as well get on to the other order of business, which is the last video I called for a vote, if you recall, as to which room I should build next. And democracy actually works for a change. I got a vote. Only one, but oh well, it works. So yeah, Mikun, I hope I pronounced that right, voted that I should build the infirmary next. I'll put a comment up there. She also mentioned that I should try and build another door around here and create a sort of porch area with traps in it to try and keep the tourists out. I'll look into that in a moment, but first things first, the infirmary. Yep, minion healthcare is on the top of the list, it seems. So, here we go. Infirmary. And let's see, where do I want to put this? Not sure how big I need to build this. I'll put it on this side. That'll give me plenty of room to build in. That should be big enough, surely. Build a little bit of space for a door. Okay. Let's build the corridor down a little bit. Go.
Road construction underway.
What's that? Okay, let's put in the door. And pharmacy booth, this is the important part. And wow, looks like I kind of overdid the size of this infirmary, but I seem to recall that you can get more stuff later on to put in these rooms, so having a slightly bigger room than is strictly necessary is probably not too bad of a problem. So let's just put that in the corner there. Also got options here for security stuff, and I'll get into that later. Hopefully in this video, if time doesn't become too much of an issue. But if it does, then it might have to wait for the next video. But security is definitely on my to-do list. Okay, let's go ahead and unpause that. Oh, I've got some investigators in my base. They're currently trying to break into my strong room, which isn't much of a problem because there's nothing incriminating in there. Oh, or maybe there is. They seem quite You're stealing my gold! Okay, you are a dead man. You are a very, very dead man. That is my money. Give it back. Yeah. Feed him senses. Get back my money. There we go. And take care of his friend too. We'll teach them to come in here and steal my money. There we go. Lost a couple of construction workers, but nah. Who cares about them? They're expendable. Okay, quick check of the world domination screen. I've got to get into this habit, by the way, of checking to make sure my guys here are safe and sound, because these justice presences do crop up every once in a while, and if I'm not paying attention, I could end up getting my guys killed, and then I have to send more people out there, and that takes time. I don't really care that they're getting killed, but it's more the inconvenience than anything else, and so I need to get into the habit of checking that regularly. Oh, there goes the corridor, good. And still training up technicians. Okay, let's look into this suggestion from Mikun. See if I can build I can't build a door over there. In fact, build a door there. That's not really much space, is it? Yeah, sorry Mikun, but I don't think another door's really going to be an option here. It was a good idea, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to instead move this one down a little bit.
Object will be moved shortly.
and then
If the forces of justice
Go
are
away.
causing you trouble,
then I might look into putting some traps in here, which might help keep people occupied. Good. She's just moving my stuff around for me. Go. So yeah, traps. Let's have a look. Got a couple of options here. We've got poison gas cage, wind machine, or confusing pop-up trap. Each of these does a different thing. The poison gas cage will just drop down on people and kill them with poison gas, strangely enough. Never would have guessed that, would you? Wind machine blows them down the corridor a bit, which can be useful for keeping them away from things or pushing them into other traps, perhaps. The confusing pop-up trap will make a cardboard cutout guy pop up out of the floor, and that'll lower the smarts of any agents that get caught in that trap as they get confused by the cardboard cutout. You got the pressure pad sensor here, which is useful for setting off the traps, and oh dear, my mod map screen just flashed, which means, yep. Oh dear, just lost a few guys here. Oh. Only 2, that's not too bad. Just send out a couple more to replace them, and that'll be alright. But yeah, that proves my point about having to check that regularly. It's only been, what, a couple of minutes since I last checked? And already I lost 2 guys. So, where was I? Traps, yeah. So I got the pressure pad sensor, which I need to set the traps off in the first place. And I can get crash test dummies, which I can use to test that the traps are working properly. So first things first, let's see. Let's put a poison gas trap in. Let's put that right in front of the door. And put a couple of pressure pads just before it. And hopefully that'll cause the agents to come along and trip that off and get killed by that before they become an issue in the rest of my base. If I recall correctly, later on I can get different versions of the trap that'll do different things. For example, this one kills them, but I can get different gases for them which will attack the various different attributes that the agents have, which are the same as normal minions, by the way. They've got health, loyalty, smarts, attentiveness, and endurance. And these guys need to die. There we go. Yeah, if you lower an agent's endurance to 0, then they pass out, and you can capture them. If you lower their health, obviously they die. If you lower their loyalty, then they basically quit their job, as it were, and start acting like they're normal tourists. However, if they see something suspicious, they will get back to what they were doing and becoming agents again. If you lower their attentiveness, then they're more likely to get caught by traps. And if you lower it all the way to 0, then they basically become a vegetable and just stand around scratching their heads. Same with lowering smarts, that if you get it down to 0, then they'll be reduced to a vegetative state. And they'll also forget where in the base they've already been and any incriminating evidence they've already seen. So that's a breakdown of what the stats do for the agents, which I don't think I've mentioned before. Right, let's link up these traps, these pressure plates to the trap. There we go. Right, there we are. Now, whenever someone walks over that pressure pad without speaking the password, as this little gentleman here is demonstrating, then they will set that trap off, and the cage will come down and kill anyone inside. Now, I need to be a little bit careful because the attentiveness of my minions, if it gets too low, they'll actually forget to speak the password, as it were, as they pass over, and can end up setting off my own traps and getting themselves killed, which is not so good. So I want to keep minion attentiveness reasonably high, if I can. Right, I believe I have the 5 technicians I need. Yes, I do. Good. Right, let's go get ourselves this crime boss. So send over all 5 of my technicians, and I'm going to bring these workers over here. No, all 5, please. I won't earn as much money, but they'll be there as a little bit of a buffer as well, because there is some risk involved in this particular mission. There's a risk value of 2, which means I'm likely to lose some of my minions in this endeavour. And if I lose all of them, then the mission will fail. But as long as I've got even just 1 worker, even if I lose all 5 of my technicians, as long as I've got 1 worker left, then I'll pass the mission. So I'm sending them over as a buffer, as it were. Let's give it a little while for those technicians to arrive. How are we doing on my infirmary? Yeah, infirmary's up and running, and it's already got a patient. He's enjoying some rather interesting side effects from the potion he was given. But this will improve his health. As you can see, he's a little bit hurt at the moment. Give that a little drink. And yeah. There we go. Health goes up. So this should help my minions recover from any... Seems going a bit crazy here. Okay, that'll have to do. That should help my minions recover from any fights that they end up getting into. Okay, is my technicians in place? Yes, they are. Very bad grammar there, by the way. Is my technicians in place? Okay, let's get this going, because frame rate is starting to play up again already. I believe I found out what the problem with that is, by the way. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it right now. The problem is that I'm recording onto the same hard drive as the game is running off of. And so when the game tries to access information from the hard drive at the same time as the recording, it causes the frame rate to drop. Oh wow, there goes a lot of my minions. I hope I sent enough workers to cover this. So basically the solution is to get another hard drive to record onto. But I don't have the money right now, so I'm basically waiting until my next paycheck comes through, and then I'll be able to get myself a new hard drive, and hopefully this frame rate issues should clear up once I have a second hard drive to record onto. Oh, there goes all the rest of my workers. This is going to be tight. Still got a quarter of the time left to go. Hopefully we'll manage to get this done. Come on, you can do it. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Nearly there. Yes! Still got 1 technician left.
The West Coast is abuzz with rumors that Marvin De Luca, the reclusive crime boss, has been spotted boarding a plane at a private airfield outside Los Angeles. De Luca is rarely seen in public since the famous Laszlo twin murders. So, whatever has drawn the Don out of his hiding must be important. Perhaps a grand meeting of crime bosses, Bill? Brr, I wouldn't like to be in a room with guys like that. All those big guns. You think they're compensating for something, Larry? Eh? Well, I must stress that Bill's views do not represent my own. Hey, Bill, you want to get capped?
So there we have it. We succeeded. And I'm bringing that technician home sharpish because I don't do not want him getting himself killed off. He's my only technician at the moment, and I still need him to train up the another 4 more. Bringing me up to 5, there we go. Yep, here he is, Martin De Luca, or Marvin De Luca? Marvin De Luca, there we are. And I have acquired my first crime boss! Huzzah! Success is mine! I'm making progress. So yep, check the mission screen. Alright, I don't think he's actually going to come up as complete on here until he arrives in my inner sanctum, so I probably better set this door back to level 2 security so he can actually get in. That might be an idea. I also hope he doesn't get caught in my trap here. That would be unfortunate. Okay, good. That was a slightly scary moment. The frame rate seems to be clearing up now, so looks like the game's finished trying to access data from the hard drive. So, as I say, I might be able to weather through these frame rate drops if they're not too long. And there we go, task complete. Marvin De Luca has arrived for the conference. And yep, Jubei, get out. And I'll set this back up to level 3. There we go. Okay. Got to wait until my technicians are replenished and my minion workforce is back up to strength. Quite a lot of heat there, so I think I'll send my guys out to the Middle East this time. Get me my money. Because I don't want to generate too much heat in any one territory, and having the minions out there actively stealing is going to be generating heat. So, got to watch out for that. And, oh, here we go. Perhaps caught someone. There we go, that's a lot more efficient. A lot more efficient than what I was having to do before, which was manually tag everyone for death and send my minions in and get them all killed off fighting. So that's a good addition, I think. Now obviously it's not infallible. If a minion goes by and calls out the password at the exact same time as an agent goes by, then the trap's obviously not going to go off. But it's certainly making life a little easier for me. Frame rate's dropping again. As I say, hopefully it won't be too long before I can sort this out. Payday's not too far off from me. Couple of weeks. And in the meantime, it looks like the frame rate issues are relatively short at the moment, so should be able to just weather through them. How am I doing? I've got 2 technicians at the moment, training a 3rd. Okay. Are my guys in the Middle East? Yes, they are. Good. And yeah, now that I've got no one in here, the heat is slowly dropping. You might have just noticed it dropped down a little bit just then. And it'll eventually drop down to 0, which is the heat levels I've got in all these other territories. Sure. Make life a little easier for me, because the higher, as I mentioned before, the higher the heat levels get, the more serious the agents they send to the island will be. So I don't want my heat levels getting too high. Not if I can help it.